It's the oldest known sport to man. For over 5,000 years, wrestling has been in existence. From ancient Egypt to the first Olympic Games in Athens, Greece, man and woman has tested their skills in this ultimate one-on-one competition. If fans of the sport want to see the history of wrestling, along with its heroes past and present, then the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum in Stillwater, Oklahoma is the place to view the best this legendary sport has to offer.
My name is Leroy Smith, and I am the Executive Director of your National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum. On behalf of our staff here in Stillwater, I want to express what an honor and privilege it is to serve our Board of Governors and your Hall of Fame. Each day, we are mindful that this organization exists because of the generosity of people like you. It is because of our passion for excellence that we best serve our mission. I invite you to visit and become a member today and discover why this is mankind's oldest and greatest sport.
Founded in 1976, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame began with 14 charter class distinguished members. Today, the Hall of Fame has grown to over 238 distinguished members and 6 more award categories that include 38 state chapters nationwide.
We have a lot to offer to the wrestling fan, and we're going to continue to try and make it one of the great halls of sport in the world.
Since its inception nearly 30 years ago, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame has paid tribute to the best that the sport has seen. From Olympic champions to legendary coaches, the Hall of Fame is where wrestling elite have been immortalized. Among the greats enshrined here in Stillwater is Danny Hodge. Hodge, who was a charter inductee into the Hall of Fame in 1976, says this is the greatest of tributes to his legendary career.
I got chill bumps up down the arms, and you probably will too. What a thrill to be able to be the first ones into a great organization like this and be a part of the wrestling community for always.
When you enter the Hall of Fame, you are transported back in time to the sport's great history and tradition. The John T. Vaughn Hall of Honors is where you can find the legends of the sport who are enshrined here in Stillwater. The Ed Gallagher Distinguished Members Gallery is where the greatest names in wrestling's history reside. Other exhibits in the Vaughn Hall include the Outstanding American Wing, the Order of Merit Award, the Medal of Courage, the Outstanding Official, the Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award, and the State Chapter Lifetime Service Award. Additional attractions in the Hall of Fame include the Paul Scott Museum of History, a virtual walk through wrestling's history. The Gable Smith International Room is where wrestling fans can look back at past Olympic and world champions and teams. Other galleries at the Hall include the Dr. Melvin D. Jones Founders Hall, the Robert Dellinger Gallery, the Cliff Keen Theater, the William S. Hine Jr. Library, which is believed to be the largest collection of wrestling literature in the world, the Lehigh University Governor's Lounge, and the University of Iowa Wall of Champions. Along with some of the greatest wrestlers of all time, the Hall of Fame also pays tribute to some competitors who have succeeded on and off the mat in the Outstanding American Gallery. The list of inductees here includes some very prominent names. Among them, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld, Speaker of the House Dennis Hastert, actor Billy Baldwin, author John Irving, and business leader Jim Ravenek.
We sometimes get kind of caught up in training athletes to be champions and tend to sometimes forget about our past heroes and past champions. And I think the Hall of Fame brings us back to that reality of where we came from. And it's just a true jewel of our sport.
Besides the hundreds of legendary figures enshrined here in Stillwater, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame also pays tribute to wrestling dignitaries across the sports landscape with its state chapter program. Currently, 38 states have chapters associated with the Hall of Fame, and each year these chapters are able to recognize those people who have made significant accomplishments to their own state's wrestling history. There are several levels of recognition at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. They include the Distinguished Member, a wrestler who has achieved extraordinary success in national and/or international competition, a coach who has demonstrated great leadership in the profession and has achieved great success, or a contributor whose long-term activities have substantially enhanced the development and enhancement of the sport. The Outstanding American, those wrestlers who have used the disciplines of the sport to launch notable careers in other walks of life. Other levels of recognition include the Order of Merit, presented to an individual who has made a significant contribution to the advancement of the sport other than the success of a coach or athlete. The Medal of Courage, presented annually to a wrestler or former wrestler who has overcome what appears to be insurmountable challenges. The Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award, presented annually to a high school senior who has achieved outstanding wrestling success along with scholastic achievements and community service. The Lifetime Achievement for Officials recognizes outstanding service as a wrestling pairing official or judge. And the Lifetime Service to Wrestling, which is given in recognition of years of dedication to the leadership of young people through the sport of wrestling. The National Wrestling Hall of Fame continues to evolve as the sport grows in popularity and tradition. And one way to help ensure the legacy of wrestling is through contributions.
As a nonprofit organization, we are dependent upon the generosity of everyone and anyone who is interested in the sport.
Today, the number of people wrestling in this country is higher than ever. It is estimated that more than 1 million athletes of all ages compete in the sport of wrestling. Here at a small high school in Perry, Oklahoma, these young men are training to become a champion. And maybe one day, one of these faces will be enshrined in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame as one of the greatest wrestlers to ever step on a mat.
I hope to go to college for a Division I school and be an NCAA national champion.
Young wrestlers like this is what makes the National Wrestling Hall of Fame such an important part of the fabric of the sport. The values and work ethic that all Hall of Fame members have demonstrated through their lives, both on and off the mat, is something the Hall of Fame hopes both current and future wrestlers take from the Hall of Fame experience. That philosophy certainly applies to one of the Hall's most recognized members. Two-time Olympic champion John Smith was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1997. Smith, who now coaches college wrestling power Oklahoma State, hopes to pass along to his team the values and work ethic that wrestling has taught him.
Well, you know, you hope that you influence a lot of people, and I hope that many of my wrestlers look at my career and get motivated by it. I'd love to see that, and I do believe that happens. I hope many of them want to be recognized one day in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.
As the sport grows, so will the Hall of Fame.
We want the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum to be the ultimate destination for all wrestling fans. We intend to renovate and keep this place a state-of-the-art facility, a wonderful showcase for our legends that live on here.
From the beginnings to the next evolution of the sport, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame is truly a trip and a tribute to man's oldest sport.